This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by WBC super lightweight world champion Regis Prograis over Zoom. Regis, I imagine you're a very happy man at the minute. Before we come on to the obvious, how is life treating you?
Man, wonderful. Honestly, wonderful. Good. I'm back in California right now, just out here training, and everything been going smooth. Everything been going real good. So I'm just happy about everything.
Regis, I interviewed you numerous times after the Josh Taylor fight. You vented your frustrations that you had to wait so long for a big fight to get your teeth into. That's come now. Devin Haney, December 9th. How excited do you feel? How different does this fight feel in comparison to the journey back from Josh Taylor?
Um, I'm loving like right now. I'm loving it, man. I feel like this is what I feel like this is really what I deserve. That's all. The main thing. Became a champion. Lost it. Became a two-time champion 3 years later. And I still didn't really get the recognition I deserve. But I feel like this fight here is really gonna put me on the map where I belong and get me the recognition I deserve for sure. So, I love everything about it.
This is obviously a fight which has been spoken about for a while. I've interviewed Eddie Hearn on numerous occasions for the last few weeks. He kept saying, announcement coming, announcement coming. What was the delay to your knowledge, Regis?
I think just the dates and stuff like that. I mean, with Devin being undisputed at 35, I think he had a lot of options. He had all the belts. So when you have all the belts, you have a lot of different options what you can do. And I think obviously he wanted the biggest fight for the biggest amount of money. And I think that was with me. I think the biggest amount of money it was coming to fight me. So and then after that we had to get the dates and all that straight. Because for me, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if it was actually a fight or not. But what I did, like since I heard his name, I started training. That's it. Since I heard they said Devin Haney, I started training. And after I was on FaceTime with him after my fight in New Orleans, his daddy was there, Bill was there, and we was on FaceTime. He said, "I'm gonna whoop your ass." I was like, "All right, I'm gonna tell you in front of your daddy, I'm gonna beat your ass, I'm gonna bust your ass." And so right there, that kind of planted the seed in my mind, like this fight could potentially be next. Now, I didn't know if it was gonna happen or not, but then I was like, man, this fight is probably gonna be next. And then I met with Eddie actually out here in California a few weeks after my fight. He was pitching a Devin fight to me, and at the time I was like, man, I just wasn't interested in hearing about no fights because like I literally like was out here like kind of on vacation. I was like, I'm not worried about fights, so I kind of wasn't interested in it. Then after that, I came back and I was like, all right, now let's talk. Let's see what's gonna happen. And then I got back and I heard that was gonna happen. And then they pitched October 28th or 9th, whatever it was. But then the Tyson Fury thing was happening, and I actually signed for November 11th. And but then they said, all right, we can't do November 11th because whatever happened, but we could do December 9th. I was like, cool. I signed my papers like that. I signed it fast, and that was it. Now we here.
I imagine you, like, obviously Devin would have had his options. You would have had plenty of options on the table for you as well, Regis. Are you surprised that Devin's opted to step up to 140 in his next fight and challenge you?
I am, and I respect him for that, but I'm not because obviously people look at your last performance, and my last performance against I think for me, I think if anybody's think for this opportunity is Zorilla because he came and he ran around and ran. And, I didn't look as good as I wanted to look, of course. I had all the stuff, hometown stuff going on. We had all that stuff going on. So they looked at that and was like, all right, he's not. They probably look like, oh, he's not as beatable. He's not as unbeatable as people think he is, because in my previous fights, I washed through people basically. I hurt them and all that stuff. So they probably was like thinking like, all right, maybe I can do something. So, but I definitely respect him for that. I definitely respect him for coming up. And, I definitely feel like I'm the best at 140 and coming up to fight me. I definitely respect him. So,
Devin's obviously level above Zorilla with no disrespect to him, but he's not somebody
right.
who's known for being an aggressive fighter. He's more kind of a back foot. He has obviously a brilliant jab, which everybody knows. How confident are you that any kind of frustrations you had from the Zorilla fight you can write in the Devin Haney fight, and that you won't allow him to kind of not necessarily dictate, but obviously have the type of success Zorilla would have had?
Well, the thing is, we're getting ready for Devin Haney. That's the thing. Like Zorilla, if you look at all Zorilla's fights, we watched it. He got 16, 17 fights, whatever he has, but he never fought like that. None of his fights. So literally, he stood there and we didn't prepare for it, and so obviously cutting off the ring, and I'm a 2-time world champion. I definitely know how to cut off the ring. But that night, I'm not gonna lie, I just froze up in the moment. I froze up in the moment. We had a lot of personal stuff going on, hometown stuff. It's just kind of, you deal with a lot of stuff when you got a hometown fight. But in training camp, I had a real good training camp for that. I did my training camp in New Orleans, so I had a real good training camp. But we trained for, at first it was supposed to be the other dude, the left-handed dude from
Liam Paro.
Leon Power, we were supposed to fight Leon Power, and we had left-handed sparring. Then they changed him, but then we looked at him, and he was right there. We was like, all right, this is the type of fight it's gonna be. Then we got in the ring. He literally just ran around the whole time. So I wasn't prepared for that. But I feel like with Devin, I'm gonna be prepared for everything. No matter what he does, if he anything he does, if he runs, if he fights, if he jabs, whatever, I feel like I'm gonna be prepared for it. Last time it was a little different, but this time, and I feel like Eddie said, I think I kind of regress in smaller fights, but in bigger fights, I'm gonna step up, and that's why with this, I'm so excited about it.
I know you don't want to give too much away, but one thing that Devin can be good at is kind of tying up his opponents. How are you going to look to kind of work about that specifically?
I don't think he's gonna want to tie me up. I don't think that's gonna work. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm working. It's gonna be a like, for instance, in my last fight against Arilla, it wasn't a game plan. We didn't have a game plan. We just went out there and fought. That was all. It was just like, literally, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna go fight, and whatever happens, happens. For me, I plan on stopping him. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I plan on stopping him. For this fight, it's gonna be a game plan from 1 round all the way to 12 rounds. It's gonna be different game plans, even inside different rounds. It's gonna be a game plan. So it's not gonna be none of that stuff. Not just going out there and fight. No, we're gonna have a game plan for whatever Devin does. I'm gonna have a game plan. That's how it's gonna be this time. So if he ties up, I got something for that. If whatever he does, I'm gonna have no matter anything he does. If he turns southpaw, whatever, I'm gonna have a game plan for anything he does.
Regis, Devin's known for being a very big lightweight. You're not necessarily spoken about for being a big super lightweight. With that in mind, just talk to me about the size difference come fight night. What do you expect that to look like?
I think we'll probably be around the same size. Devin is tall. He's tall, but physically he's weak. He's not strong. That's the thing. Physically, I'm strong. So yeah, Devin is taller. He's longer, but physically he just doesn't have it. He's not strong. Physically, he doesn't have punching power. Physically, he's not a strong person just at all. And physically, I am strong. So I just think physically we'll probably look the same, but physically will be a big difference. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna show in the fight.
Regis, we know you can be aggressive. We know you don't shy away from kind of getting involved in between rounds and in the fight itself. Devin we've seen in the past, he might disagree, where he seems to have been hurt in fights. If you're when you are in the ring with him come December 9th, do you feel like the stoppage opportunity will present itself? Do you feel like you can KO Regis, you can KO Devin Haney?
Yes, for sure. Definitely, for sure. I definitely think I can stop him for sure. Yeah, he been hurt. He been hurt a few times. He been buzzed a few times, and he been hurt by littler guys than me. I'm bigger with the 8-ounce gloves on. I don't think he's gonna be able to stand up to that. I really just don't think he'll be able to stand up to that. The physical is, I think it's gonna be a physicality, and not only the physicality, but just we don't have so many different game plans. Like what I'm working on right now, we gonna have so many different games. It's gonna be a lot of we working on everything. Anything they gonna do, I'm gonna do it better. Anything, no matter what he does, I'm gonna do it better. And physically, I feel like I'm stronger.
Obviously, Regis, we saw the promo video, which certainly got the juices flowing, got a lot of fans excited. Just to get your thoughts on some of Devin's comments within it, where he said, I'm going to step on you. I've got to crush you. You're in my way. I'm going to F you up. What did you make of those words from Devin?
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's just talk. At the end of the day, it's just talk. We still got to see each other December 9th. I did my talking, he did his talking. I'm pretty sure we could do a lot of talking at the press conference. But at the end of the day, all that's just talk. It's cool, but we still have to fight, and that's all that matters.
Is this fight with Devin a tougher challenge than what it was when you fought Josh Taylor in England those years back?
Wait, say it again?
Do you feel like this fight with Devin is a tougher challenge than when you fought Josh Taylor those years ago?
No, I don't. Why? Because I mean, I came to a whole different country. You know, out here, I used to live in California, so I have a lot of. It's probably like when I all right. So when I fought Zepeda, I fought Zepeda in LA. Zepeda's from LA, and I fought him in LA. But I had a lot of people that obviously he's from here, but I had a lot of people there too. I have roots in California too. So, you know, it is his hometown, but it's not his home. You know, it's my home country too. And I used to live in the same state also. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have a whole lot of people, not as much as him, but I'm definitely gonna have a whole lot of people. When I fought out there in the UK, it was his home country. So, you know, I literally, besides the people that came with me, you know, it was 18,000 people in the stadium. You know, it probably, you know, 20 people that was actually rooting for me, 20 people that was for me. Everybody else was, you know, against me. But this time, it's definitely gonna be a big difference because, like I said, I have roots here. I'm here now. I'm in California right now, and I'm gonna stay here, you know, in most likely until the fight. So I'm not worried about none of that stuff.
Yeah, I've seen a few rumors that Teofimo may go on the same day as yourself. Just does that bother you at all? Do you think about that?
It's kind of obviously, you know, you kind of if he's fighting, yeah, you kind of get bothered by it, but at the same time, man, look, I'm out there to do a job. You know, I mean, obviously that might affect some of the, you know, the numbers, the pay-per-view numbers and stuff like that. But listen, I'm out there to do a job at the same time. You know, I'm out there, me and Devin, we going out to fight. I'm out there to do my job. I can't worry about if Tio does do the same thing. Listen, it is what it is. Let him do him, and you know, I'm gonna do me, and it's just gonna be what it is. I can't, you know, it's things I can't control. I can't control how I train right now and how dominant I'm gonna be in the fight, but I can't control what, you know, what the other side does.
Regis, if you have your hand raised, where do you go from here? You're going to be the man everybody's going to want. You'll catapult yourself into the pound for pound. I'd imagine the top three, I'd say, to the very least. Where do you see the next fight for you, the next opportunity is coming from?
I'm at the stage right now. I only want big fights. That's it. I only want the big fights. I want the big names. I want the big fights. So, you know, for me, after the Devin fight, after I beat Devin, I want something, you know, big. I'm in the right. I feel like I am right in the right weight division that everything is around me. You know, so it's Tio, is you know, it's Ryan, it's Javante. He's, you know, he's down, but he can come up. You know, I want only big fights. For me, after this, I want only big super fights, and that's it. You know, either for the belts, you know, Rolly, Matias, Tio, they have the belts. Ryan doesn't have a belt, but he's a big name. Javante doesn't have a belt, he's a big name. Maybe even like an Adrian Broner or something like that. But for me, I only want big fights. I don't want nothing. I'm at the stage of my career. I don't want nothing small. I don't want no up and coming guys and stuff. Of course, people would call me out when you the champion. You have a target on your back, but I'm not. I'm not worried about none of that stuff. I'm not worried about no up and coming guys, no smaller guys. I only want big fights, big money, pay per view, or you know, for the belts. So, and that's the only thing I want.
Regis, just whilst I got you, get your thoughts on a couple of other things. Obviously, we've got Canelo-Charlo this weekend. What's your take on that fight?
Obviously, me and Mel grew up together, so I'm gonna go with Mel. That's why I want to win. But it's a big task. It's definitely a big task at hand. Going up 2 divisions, fighting Canelo, that's a big power puncher. It's gonna be a big task in front of him. But for me, I'm rooting for Twin.
And then there's a lot of talk about the Spence Crawford rematch. We need obviously more details to be released. Whether it happens at 147, 154. What's your take? Are you interested in seeing it a second time around?
Definitely, I do want to see it. I want to see how. I think. Listen, you can't take nothing away from Crawford. Crawford is the pound for pound king right now. He's the best in the world. It just Crawford didn't look like himself. You know, that's all. Crawford didn't look like himself, and I want to see if they do it at 47. It might not be that much of a difference, but if they do it at 54, I think it will be a difference. Those pounds definitely make a difference in, you know, your performance. So I would want to see it at 54. But even if they do it at 47, I definitely would want to see that. I definitely want to see it again. I would still give the. I just want to see how Errol will come out, how he would perform after that. That's all I want to see. I was obviously you got to give the edge to Crawford just because of what he did the first time. But I don't think Errol's gonna be the same fighter. I think he'll be different in the rematch.
Regis, a fight a week after yours, which you may well decide to go and attend, sees Sonny Edwards and Bam Rodriguez face off. It's a very exciting one. Everybody's talking about it. Which way do you sit on? What side of the fence do you sit on?
I don't know, man. I think they both of the styles kind of mash up perfectly. So, Sonny with the boxing, Bam, coming in and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna go. I mean, it's just for me, it's another win for the boxing fans. This is what we need, the big fights.
And then just the final one, a man you were in talks to potentially face, Jack Catterall. He's facing Catterall-Linares in a few weeks' time. Obviously, Jack's going in as a big favourite. Do you think there could be an upset there, though?
No. I think Linares is. I think he's been over the hill a while ago. I think he was over the hill. He was over the hill when he fought Devin. To be honest, he caught Devin with some punches, but he couldn't carry on. But now I think Jack definitely should win that.
All right, Regis, don't take too much of your time now, so I'm going to leave a final one to yourself. I want a message from you to Devin Haney. Imagine this is the last time you're going to speak to anybody. What would you say to him?
Man, be ready. Be ready. I feel like this is gonna be the worst night of his life. I'm bringing hell. I'm bringing hell to him. That's it. I'm gonna bring hell to him. That's it, bro. I mean, I don't really want speak too much on it. It's just just what I've been doing, how I've been feeling right now, and I'm so far out. Oh man, I think this is gonna be the worst night of his life.
Does it feel personal?
No, never personal. No, for sure. It's not personal. It's not personal. It's a sport. I don't make it personal. It's I actually, if you don't know, bro, like, so right after my fight, they have it's a show called True Something Love or something like that, and Boxing Wives and stuff like that. And so my wife was on it, and it was in Vegas, and it's like produced by Zab Judah, his girl, his wife, and a bunch of other people. Benavidez was on there with us, and so we filmed one day, and the next day it was Bill Haney, his son, big little. He was there, and so we was literally all golfing together. That's the thing. All of us was all golfing together and stuff like that. So it's not. I mean, it depends on if they want to talk to me after the fight. After the fight, I'm gonna mess. I told him I'm gonna bust his ass. And they professional, but I told him, listen, bro, I'm coming, bro. I'm gonna bust his ass. I told Bill I said, bro, I'm gonna beat your son ass. Little, that's his brother. I said, bro, I'm gonna beat your brother ass. I'm telling you, I'm gonna fuck him up bad. This could be the worst night of his life. I'm gonna hurt him. I'm gonna beat him up. I'm gonna hurt him. So I don't think, it's not personal, but at the same time, this is, I think that he's in my way of reaching superstardom, where I feel like I deserve. I belong. I definitely feel like pound for pound is something I want. Superstardom is something that I want. And this is the fight for me to step into it. And they're in the way of that. So, I gotta, get the dirt. Oh, scrap. All right. So yeah, bro, that, like I said, that it's just, like I said, he's just in the way of, my goals. And I want to be, like I said, pound for pound superstar, and they're in the way of that. So I just gotta, like he said, step over him. I gotta do the same thing.
Regis, listen, it's a pleasure to catch up with you. Obviously, enjoy the rest of camp. Good luck with what's to come, and I will speak to you again soon. Thank you for speaking to me in Boxing News.
All right, thank you.